Hey everybody, this is Hazard Reborn. Welcome to the HAWKEN beta, the HAWKEN closed beta. In this video I'll be just showing the character customization. The game won't be open for play until tomorrow, so I just thought I'd make this video, show a little bit of the graphics and in depth of what the actual character customization is like. As you can see, by going to deploy, matchmaking or anything like that, everything is offline at the moment, hasn't actually been open yet. As of tomorrow night the servers will be on and we'll be able to hopefully create another video with in-game footage of what the closed beta is going to be like. Until then, I'll be checking out the menu pretty much, which from what I've heard from the developers themselves, from what they said, the UI is gonna pretty much be changed, but it's still the first look and I thought I'd just share this with everybody else.
Help requested. Help requested.
It's a little bit strange in some of its controls. For example, the menus don't close. I hope that they change this in the actual final version. It's a little bit hard to get used to some of these things here. I mean, these windows have little X's on them, you can close them. However, settings don't have a back or a close option. Again, this is just small details. From what they said, the UI is going to be pretty much changed by the end of it, so I'm just having a look through, seeing what it's all about at the moment, trying to figure out what these mentor points and the whole idea of this is as well. Oh, I'm guessing this is a option to buy things. Waiting to start to open, yeah, okay. No idea what I just done. Apparently I have some Meteor points, which I am guessing, oh, what's this here, 4,650, I'm guessing they are collected with either money or gameplay. I'm guessing, I really don't know. Spend mentor points 1 day for 30 days, 1,000, okay. Yeah, I think I wasted the first 150 points for no reason, but that's okay, really don't care anyway. Okay, this is a character profile, from what I see. Apparently there's no way to change the avatar. A whole bunch of specs here, which might be interesting. Let me just say display career, experience points, time played, total kills, kill death ratio, avenger kills, revenge kills, best kills, assists, team losses. Now they go this way. HAWKEN points and experience points. I guess in the first, I don't know how they actually have the whole currencies of the game, how they work yet. I'm hoping tomorrow when the servers open we'll get a better image of that. Well, the profile statistics look pretty much detailed. detailed enough. I'm guessing the different mechs that you can create are up to 3, or has a drop down here. Probably be able to buy extra slots, or I don't know how it's gonna be working. We have stats for each mech that you create. Apparently, from what I see, there's a mech career, and the player career is in total everything accumulated into one statistic sheet, which is pretty good, I guess. Although I'm seeing less stats on the mech career, which, I mean, of course, some of them probably aren't important, but like team deathmatch wins and stuff like that, I probably would have guessed it would have been something that I would have liked to see in the mech career profile as well, but really can't say much about it if I haven't played yet. And again, the menu doesn't close, which is one of the things that I really don't understand, why there's no way to get back to the main menu screen for some reason. Anyway. I mean, of course there's small details and it's not really that important, but okay, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to even the details, so I'm guessing, I hope in the final version this changes. Again, okay. Now let's go to the character creation, the mech creation, I guess, whichever way you put it. I have the different slots, I'm guessing, here. Okay, that's cool. Your mechs, mech shop, that's probably to buy extra mechs. The graphics look pretty good. Has a bit of a fuzz onto it. I don't know if I've put that there from the settings or why it's like that. Borderless, texture detail, ultra, everything is maximum. Post-process MLA, let me see if I take that off. Yes. What's gonna look like? So it's not that. It's got a bit of a grainy look to it. I don't know if this is part of the actual effect that they try to create, but it still looks good, but I'm just hoping that it's not graphical problems. There's also a bit of a trace on the mech that's moving. I'm guessing that's the motion blur that I've turned on. It creates a very nice effect to it. However, it could also be considered as laggy graphics, I guess, or not clearly defined graphics. It's a little bit, if you can notice the mech, when I turn it, the motion blur that it has on the outlines over, they don't look as defined as I would expect them to look on a, when compared to other games. But then again, it could be just an effect that they added to it. It's just a matter of taste. It could actually look good as an effect during the in-game battle combat system. Let's see what else I can turn off here and just play around with the graphics a little bit. Yeah, I thought I turned that off. Motion blur, physics, let's just try all that off. Do you want to keep this mirror? Yes. It looks exactly the same. Oh, motion blur is not there. And to be honest, I kind of like it better. At the very small occasions that I actually like the motion blur and believe they actually make the game look even better, or probably have to say that Crisis will have to be one of those games where motion blur is nice and it doesn't interfere with the clarity of the image. Another example I could give, for example, is Doom 3, the BFG edition. The motion blur in that for me was just too much. It mixed things up. I just took it right off, and it actually looks much better and more clear. Of course, you have to play in-game to notice these little small differences, and I'm just, messing around with the character creation screen here, so there's really, it could be pointless, but I'll just get into that as well. Give a chance for those that don't have a hands-on at the moment to the closed beta. Give them a chance to actually see what some of the elements of the game might be like. It's so trippy. Just play around with this a little bit more. Borderless, screen. I think everything else is there. Post-process MLAA. I really don't understand why that won't switch off. Seriously. Yeah, the motion blur, it creates a nice kind of a blur effect to it. Some HDR kind of feel and bloom feel to it, but I am assuming that I probably won't like this in game. Anyway, that's just personal taste, I guess. We have the key binding menus, the game controls. I'm not really even gonna bother going into that at the moment. I'll just fix those up when I actually get into the game. Alright, let's go back to the character creation screen and see what we've got here. A small description of what they actually do. Damage. Oh, there's a small description over each category as well. That's nice. That's a nice little detail. So that's damage, accuracy, rate of fire, effective range, and hit rate. Okay. From other videos that I've seen, I come to understand that it pretty much plays a lot with the bigger weapons, the more powerful weapons, or the more advanced weapons. They heat up much easier, and therefore can't be used as much as the normal weapons. So I'm guessing that the whole game is gonna have a play on that line of strategy. Damage 10. Damage 185, for example, and the hit rate is 2.8. I'm guessing 7.9 hit rate damage. I'm guessing that they actually mean cool rate here. 2.8. It has a smaller, because the number is smaller. I mean, doesn't make any sense for the assault rifle, which has a smaller damage, which is just 12, to have a larger hit rate than a rocket. Submachine cannon. Oh, they are probably wrong about this. Weapons coolant removes all the weapons heat build up for a short time. Oh, it's item. Okay, so I can actually edit the mech here. Before I go into that, I'll just look at the mech shop. Alright, at the moment we only have 6 mechs. This one here is free until test drive until 29th. It's just for the the closed beta testing. It's this guy here. Oh. You can see how the graphics actually come into focus in the details. So that's a good thing. It's a very good thing actually. That would probably help a lot with latency and frame drops issues when you're playing online. I mean, it's it helps a lot to see the enemy straight away, even though it has a level of detail that might be smaller on him, and then just loads it up while you're playing without reducing your frame drops or your latency, giving you latency issues. Yeah, as you can see, just loads the detail up, which means that enemies and popping in and out of your screen should be quite instant, as well as scenery. from what I'm guessing. And then it just clears up into full detail. That's really nice. I think I had noticed not a lot of games use it that way, and it's a very good method. Not a lot of games that use it, but it's not this obvious on most games, and games that don't use it as much tend to be much laggier and have larger frame spikes and stuff. It looks pretty cool actually, very model. I myself am a first-person shooter fan. I play a lot of first-person shooter games and RPGs and other stuff, support strategy, blah blah. Of course, yeah, we're into a lot of stuff, but I have to say that I have a great love for first-person shooter games. Let's not zoom in on this. We can only turn around. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this beta. I also used to like the Mech Warrior games a lot, but the controls were very laggy, very heavy and slow, and was very frustrating to play most of the Mech Warrior games. And from what I've seen in videos, this game looks to be on par with in terms of controls like other first-person shooting games. And at the same time, it's a Mech Warrior game, so I'm really excited to see how this works. The designs are really beautiful. I mean, it's a lot of detail in there. The geometry is pretty good, and textures are just out there. I still don't understand why it has that grain look to it. I mean, I hope it's not an effect that I have throughout the whole game. It looks good and cinematic in a way, I guess, but it really creates, like here for example, some anti-aliasing or some like texture things that I really would prefer if they were clear. Like back here, the smoke, it's nice for an effect, but I really do hope that in game it doesn't have this effect, or that I can get rid of it. Like, hope this. I really don't see some option that can get a capped smooth. I really don't see an option for it, and worries me a little bit, but it's not a big issue, I guess. I just would have preferred if I had the option to make it much clearer graphics, and I usually don't like that effect. I remember it in Mass Effect as well, and I would always just usually get rid of it. Anyway, let's see. Tower rocket, a bit type of weapon, abilities, fortified turret, weapons coolant. Am I missing something? No, berserker. Sharpshooter. There's some stats for each of these robots or mechs. Yeah, it's here. Okay. So we have a small stat chart here for each and every single one of the mechs that we are able to select. And that's armor, I'm guessing. Yep, armor 500, speed 150, energy capacity 150. That's probably for weapons, and if not for weapons, probably the boosts, the jumping around, and all the dashing and flying around maneuvering. 150 capacity, speed 850, 500 armor, 250. Less mobile, a little less mobile, has more energy efficiency probably to cover up for the less mobility, and more armor in this one here. Sharpshooter, I'm guessing it's more of a ranged camping kind of mech, that's probably why it has more armor. Assault. Assault mech has the exact same stats from what I'm saying. 750, 750, 225. Yeah, it's probably just a different version of the sharpshooter. and the defense doesn't look to be too much different from the Berserker, which is probably the most mobile model at the moment that I'm seeing. And these guys here are obviously the big defenses. Okay, 300, 650, 300, 650, and 850. Yeah, these guys are the least mobile of all selections, and the most defensive, and they look awesome. I really like the whole design of it. It's just looks really beautiful. I love this mech designs. From what I've seen in other videos, I'm guessing that this goes into a mobile little turret, and these become shields that lock in front of it. We'll see that in game, how it plays out. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Those things are above shields. It's looking really, really great for a game at the moment. And it's just the character creation screen, which, even just by giving us the option of only selecting the mechs, the models are already, they're great. I love them so far. And despite that, you can actually go into detail of changing all the different parts in them, and of course I haven't gone into that yet. I haven't even looked into those things yet. Okay, so what I'm guessing is that there's three categories. These are the mobile category, this is the average category, seeing from the stats at the top as well, and these are the defensive category. Okay, let's see now for weapons. This one here is free to use. I don't want to waste any more of those little red thingies. I already wasted 150 whatever it was for a health boost or whatever it is that I bought. So I think I'll go with this here, free. The mech will be added to your garage until it expires. Yes. Nice choice. Not good. Okay. I have the infiltrator. Assault. Okay, so I already have the assault in my garage, which is this one here. Right, so I'll go into customizing these two mechs, and then I'll probably buy one of the larger mechs as well. And if I have time, I'll probably go through all 6 mechs and see if they have different options, just to give a complete, thorough view of what the mech customization, not character customization, for more precise naming, the mech customization actually offers. Alright, so let's go our mechs. I just bought the infiltrator. I'll probably just, yeah, it looks a bit different. Alright, I'm guessing here we customize it. Purchase infiltrators. Points. Cancel, no. How do I? Yeah. I thought it was free. Why am I supposed to purchase it? Spend HAWKEN points, spend Meteor points. Okay, I'm guessing that these two are, one is probably bought and the other is probably generated through the game as experience. I'm guessing the first is the experience. The Meteor points are probably what you need to buy. Yeah, Meteor, it's the company's name as well. So you buy Meteor points from what I'm understanding, and HAWKEN points are experience. Obviously it's much more expensive with experience points, so so far I'm not seeing anything that can't be bought with experience or just playing the game. That's a good thing. Okay, I'll just customize this guy for now then. Let's see, we have equipped, so upgrades, optimizations, body shop, paint shop. Okay. Upgrades. Primary weapon levels. Okay, I'm guessing that this is not available. Alright. Do these have like a description what they are? No. It's probably just upgrading the mech. Probably have different levels. Ability level 3, special weapons level 3. Yeah, they're just upgrades for the actual mech itself, so the mech becomes strong with primary weapons, has more tech points. Alternative primary weapon level 1, plus 3 tech points, special weapons level 1, and so on and so forth. You know, has ability level 3. It's pretty much the actual mech upgrades, and you just spend your experience on that, I guess, or tech points. Okay, optimizations. This is too much to get into at the moment because just the skill trees. I'll have to look through them later. Body shop. I just think I'll have more fun looking at this for now, and then I'll go into the optimizations and see what that's all about. RP chassis. Okay. Rookie. CIV. I mean, hold on a second. I need more sensitivity. It just feels too laggy. I mean, it's just annoying that I can't open the settings and just close it on top of it afterwards, but anyway, that's much better. Okay, so we got this here. That's the one it starts with. It actually have to pay for every single part that you put onto it. To be honest, I was hoping that it wouldn't be like that. I hope that the actual game itself, you don't have to buy every single modification in the game, and that it has a huge selection of modifications without actually buying them. But so far I'm seeing, well, everything that I have there is I gotta buy it. I mean, of course they've given me 4,650 of those points to buy things, but still, when those run out, what do you do? And here we have the remaining parts, which are for the thighs, obviously. Something I'm noticing with the UI, which I was hoping that they could probably change in the final version, is the fact that you can't zoom in or out on the model, first of all. And second of all, these little tabs down here that kind of make it a little bit difficult to see what you're doing when you're customizing. Like on the feet here, you really need to get to a specific angle to see exactly a little bit of the foot, and it's a little annoying. Of course, these are just being picky in small details. It's not no reason to dislike a game, of course, but doesn't mean that they're not noticeable. It's something we can live with, I guess. I'm just still very curious as to how the whole currency system is gonna work with buying the new parts. Would have really liked to be able to see a complete preview of the model that I was making, and then put all the spend the cash on it, or the Meteor points, whatever they're called. Unfortunately, when you go in and out of a category, if you haven't actually bought it, it resets it back to the default, so it makes customizing a little bit difficult in that sense. Again, we'll have to see the final version or the in-game version of how these points are accumulated, so I can have a better opinion on this. And I also noticed that they don't have the blue little experience points, or what were they called? HAWKEN points. So I'm guessing these items here, if not unlocked, they're probably just, all the customizations are probably just through purchases. We can choose what drone we have. To be honest, the initial drone is actually the best looking one. Okay. I have the shredder arms. I'm used to trying to zoom in from other games that that's just a habit, I guess. Probably need some getting used to, not being able to zoom in. Again, the models are really nice. Really nicely done. And of course with the release I'm guessing they're gonna have many more options than just, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw in some other videos, developer videos, that they had plenty more options, so I'm guessing this should be a pretty cool part to the whole customization of the mechs. And we have the thrust nozzles. That's the default. And they're pretty cool actually. Has some nice variations. It's not just color variations, it's also texture variation, modeling, not modeling, texture variation. It's just different particle effects, so I really like this. As opposed to just simply changing the color. Okay. And for some apparent reason they're more expensive than the body parts. So if I have to guess, the developers are going way out of they're going out of way to make customization for individuality a purchasable feat in the game, mostly, from what I'm noticing. Because these obviously are one of the more vivid changes that you will be able to see on your model from far away, the flame that will be coming out of the nozzles. So I'm guessing that's the philosophy behind it. They're much more into, you know, making money from the customization. I guess that's okay. As long as they don't make weapons being purchased and upgrades and items and stuff like that. That keeps a good balance if they keep it strictly to just appearance customization. Now we've got the paint shop. Let's see if I can figure out how this works. Okay, so there's just a couple of parts on it that you can actually change the color on. The trim lines is the only thing that you can change. I was kind of hoping you could change the color of the mech as well, but I guess that's okay. For now, probably future updates or something. This is the paint patterns for the time being. Just curious as to how you can select and kind of mix and match paint patterns. You can change the scale on them. Just put that everywhere. Okay. Apparently that's a bit buggy. I have to change the color back and forth for that to work. I would much prefer if you could have control over these colors, but I'm guessing there'll be more options to come. And I do think that it's a little bit... I would have imagined that these should have been free. Anyway, just keep the initial coloring to it. Black is always good. Okay, now for those optimizations. There are three skill trees apparently. There's movement, defense and offensive skill trees, and you obviously have to unlock points and distribute them accordingly. I'll go through this just for the sake of looking at them. There's a couple of interesting skills here, for example like the weapon heat reduction, but mostly I was more interested with something like this. It looks very different to what I was expecting. Reduces red signature distance while firing a weapon. If I'm not mistaken, you create a hit signature that is picked up by the raiders according to your movement and to your fire rate. So obviously this makes you less detectable whilst in an offensive situation. That's some very neat little skills here. Like this, for example, increase the distance of your radar. So these are more increase walk speed. There's some very handy skills here, especially for the larger class, like increasing the walk speed, movement. I'm guessing you can do combinations as well, so you're not limited to just one skill tree. So I'm guessing going with the movement tree for a more slow mech could actually change the whole strategy of your play, or making it more defensive, or creating a more defensive mobile mech, and so on and so forth. So this is a very nice way to differentiate between the mechs, which are already differentiated amongst their class. And from what I'm guessing, the ranks here is according to how many skill points that are put into them, apparently, from what I'm guessing, thus unlocking the further tiers down towards the bottom. There's 5 tiers in total. Okay. And let's have a look at the equipped. Defensive item, function item, okay. Oh, so you can have more items. Oh, that's pretty cool. Armor piercing munitions, explosive munitions, heat sinks, cooling units. Reduce overheat and cover times for seconds. Yeah. These are more like passive. Offensive internal, defensive internal, functional internal. These are probably just passives. Decrease all damage, yep, these are passives. 3 internals. So these are the passive parts that you can purchase. It's a good thing that they have experience on these. The HAWKEN points would have been really a pain if it was just the Meteor points for these. Let's have a look at these, what they have. Resistant armor. Okay, you can pretty much see what they're all about. And functional internals are obviously locked, probably for either a different class mech or higher upgrades, I'm guessing, for the same mech. And then we have the actual items, which are usable. We have charge, detonator, part of a rocket has a massive damage. A slow hovering explosive that can be detonated. Okay. And I'm guessing that, well, I'm hoping that these are one-use items for every round and not just one-use period. Have to see in game to actually see if that holds true or not. I don't see where you can select weapons. Alternate primary, this is locked. You can also rename your mech here. And according to your optimizations, upgrades and equipped items, I'm guessing these will have to change and show you the final stats on the mech. I'm pretty sure I had seen a menu where you can select weapons. I'm not sure if that's before you go into the actual combat. But for the time being, I don't have access to the weapons, so I can't show what they are. Anyway, Infiltrator. The Infiltrator was the small mech. I'm more of an agile mobile character myself, so primary weapon, assault rifle, grenade launcher, heat cannon, tow rocket, submachine cannon, assault rifle, submachine machine cannon. It's pretty much the same weapons. So I'll go on to modifying this mech here, and if the points are enough, see if I can go into modifying one of the bigger mechs as well, so I can actually be as thorough as I can with this video and cover as much of the customization that's available in the game. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately spend the Meteor points. Nice choice, okay. Okay, offensive item. I'll have to buy everything. Okay, I'm not even gonna touch these because I'm seeing that they can be bought with experience points, so there's no point in wasting anything on that. Just go through the blur is really annoying me. Honestly, it's annoying me. Motion blur, taking it off. Apply, yes. Garage, edit. That's much better. Might as well, just to see what is it like. Bite, yep. Why is it locked? Alright. Hoping these aren't locked and I'm wasting my time here. Same drones. Strut arms are locked for this, or maybe they're not available at all for this model. I'm guessing the second, probably not available at all. Okay. Let's kinda see which one of these legs look better. I mean, these go better in the model, but yeah, I'll probably just buy this as well. You have to go in and select it a second time apparently for it to actually work. Okay, let's select the thrust nozzles as well, just to put a bit of our own taste throughout the whole. Looks I'm thinking this looks the best. I'm currently between those two. Yeah. Okay, now let's see if we can just put a pattern that would look pretty good on it. Oh, it looks pretty neat. To be honest, I think I like the plain color more. I think I like it more for now. Okay. So there you have it, that's the customization. And I'm guessing the parts are exactly the same for each class. So we have, this here has the same exact parts that I had seen in the other model. So there's obviously no point for me to buy both of these here. I'll just buy one and go through the, is it going to load the detail? That's strange. There we are. I'll just buy one of the two and cannons, artillery rockets, fire missiles. Yep. Spend meter points. And customize this guy a little bit as well. Just so we can see all the different types of selections. Okay. Upper chassis. Both look awesome, it's just really detailed designs. That's really, really good. The drones are all the same. Okay. Strap arms. These are probably the shields. Yep. So you can mix and match these. Kind of suited. I mean, every item suits. It's really, really nice. Try a bit of a yellow again. See what that looks like. Some nice combinations. I'm not so happy so far with the painting patterns that you can put at the moment. They're not bad, but maybe, I don't know, something about them, just the selection perhaps, or they tend to look a little bit better on the large models like these mechs, but on the smaller ones they're not so. Well, I wasn't satisfied, to be honest. Okay, that's the normal color. So these are the three mechs. That was the character actually was the mech customization. That's pretty much it. Very detailed mech customization here. I'm very happy with the results that it actually has. They put a lot of good work into it, and looking forward to seeing the rest of the game in game. Feel free to leave any comments on the video and have fun.